Glad you're staying with us right here on The Exchange, where your business is our business. I'm Rico Hizon. Some of the biggest risks to cybersecurity are attacks to the banks and the financial sector. Let's now have an exchange with Bankers Association of the Philippines Cybersecurity Committee member Joey Rufo. Joey, great to have you with us. Banks have accelerated their adoption and use of fintech over the past years. Where is the sector now in terms of ensuring our kababayan's cybersecurity?
Well, thank you, Rico, for that good question. So you hit it spot on. Since the start of the pandemic, we've seen a massive rise on digital transactions. It has brought a lot of convenience to our kababayans, right? From the safety of their homes, making sure that they can transact away from any physical harm or from any risk from the virus before. And that trend has continued even after the pandemic. We've seen the benefit and the convenience that it can bring to us, right? But with this great convenience comes great responsibility, right? We've seen the rise of opportunistic cyber criminals who are taking advantage of our kababayans, what we call our digital migrants, those people who are new to online space, transacting in online space. And we've seen them take advantage of the human vulnerability whenever people are transacting. So the BAP and its member banks have already accelerated a lot of their initiatives when it comes to protecting its customers. So it's not just about bringing lots of convenience, but putting in a lot of security measures and awareness and pushing awareness to our kababayan when it comes to online transactions.
That's right. You talk about digital migrants, no? From over-the-counter transactions, passbooks, and now it is the digital platform that is very popular among our kababayans. By how much, we are right now in the Burr months, Joey, by how much do banking transactions, especially online, increase during the holiday season?
Wow, it grows a lot, right? During the Burr months. People want to avoid traffic. People want to avoid lining up some malls, right? And they would prefer a lot of their transactions to be done online, right? So it's much more efficient just waiting for your packages to come, the smile that you get when you see. So transactions can easily triple or quadruple during these Burr periods.
Wow.
And this is where also this online fraud picks up, right? They know that Filipinos love to online shop, perform their online banking, and this is where these fraudulent schemes also reaches its peak. So this is where we mostly alert our kababayans to make sure, right? We push these informational messages that, hey, be careful when you shop online or when you do banking online. There are a lot of these cyber criminals who might try to prey on you, right? Make sure that you're aware that before you click any of these links, before you pay or give your credit card, give away your username or your password and your one-time password, make sure that it is your legitimate banking site or your favorite shopping site.
But of course, Joey, we also have laws, stringent laws like the Cybercrime Prevention Act and recently the SIM Registration Act. Have they really been useful in reducing online criminal acts?
So those laws that that are in place are just part of the several layers that we have to make sure that this is part of several laws that have to be in place in order to make sure that our kababayans remain protected, right? The SIM Registration Act now allows, remember the stats presented by the telcos, there were, I think, if I recall the numbers correctly, more than 30 million SIMs were deactivated. My guess is that a lot of them could have been used for fraudulent purposes. So the first step, deactivate fraudulent SIMs, done, right? The second step is that what we're seeing now is because there's a registration requirement, it fulfills one part, and that is identification of who could be using the SIM for criminal reasons, right? So that allows for identification. Does it completely prevent? We don't think so, right? So it requires more laws for us to be able to prevent this. And one of the laws that the Bankers Association of the Philippines has been pushing is the Financial Accounts Regulations Act. So this pushes for more stringent penalties against criminals who will pursue online fraud, phishing, right? Elevated to the level of economic sabotage.
But these online fraudsters, these cyber criminals, are they ahead of the curve? Are they ahead in terms of trying to hack, phishing, mishing, all these kinds of cyber attacks on our kababayans? Or are the banks and financial institutions way ahead of them, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps ahead of these online fraudsters?
an important thing to remember about this phishing, right? Phishing preys on human vulnerability. They're hacking humans. They're not hacking machines. They're not hacking the banks. They're not hacking any IT
Okay.
systems here. They're hacking on our vulnerability. They're hacked whenever we're at most excited, when we're anxious about, when we're fearful, when we receive that email. Wow, the bank is telling me that I won a very big award. You just have to enter your username and password, and that's when you enter your credentials. That's when you become at most vulnerable, and that's when they take over your accounts, right? So one important part here that the BAP and the rest of the member banks have been doing is pushing educational awareness through our cyber safe campaign, making sure that everyone is educated in social media. We message them, we email them, even use all and any form of medium that we can reach to in order to educate. There's also the form of through our Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. They've recently, or last year, they've published BSP Circular 1140, which mandates financial institutions to implement what we call real-time fraud monitoring systems. So this real-time fraud monitoring system is, again, another part of the layer which helps detect if there are anomalous transactions. Parang yung mga, wow, some money got stolen. Maybe the real-time fraud monitoring system can detect it, right? It's not a 100% foolproof solution, right? It uses modern algorithms, such as using leveraging on AI in order to identify what could be potentially fraudulent. But again, no 100% security solution can protect against someone who's given the keys to the kingdom, given the keys to the house, right? Vigilance and awareness on cyber crimes remains paramount for all of our kababayans.
Thank you so much for this very important advice and for this financial sector exchange. Bankers Association of the Philippines, Joey Rufo. And still ahead on the exchange, where your business is our business. We discuss the cybersecurity risks companies may face and what can be done to fight them, with IBM Security's Chris Hawkins joining us from Brisbane, Australia. Keep it right here on CNN Philippines. News you can trust.